Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. Hope everyone's well. I know I said in my a few videos ago that I would try to mix it up and not do too many list videos, but I think I did say I would do some list videos and some not list videos. So this is another one of my list form videos. So well, in 3 parts. But anyway, I hope people out there will enjoy it as ever. Well, I hope so anyway. I hope people will enjoy my videos as much as possible. But a while back, I decided to, or I think it was last year, possibly, I decided to, like, these 4 different groups I want to support, I decided to split them into different parts each of the year. So anyway, so basically in April, May, and June, to put it simply, I hope to support Asia and empower Asia as much as possible. So these are my ideas to try and empower people from Asia, and I hope to cover things like the Asian Empowerment Plan, Asian Unity Plan, and things like that. So anyway, here's a list of some ideas which I hope will benefit Asia as much as possible, being half Asian myself, and also like as a person of color and that sort of thing. So anyway, here goes. So number 1, I would love to see Asia being united as much as possible. I'd love to see a united Asia, Pan-Asianism. I hope to promote that as much as possible, just as I hope to do with Africa. By the way, I hope you can hear me because my brother's playing some really loud music again. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy that music if you can hear it. Yeah, I hope that I can encourage Pan-Asianism as well as Pan-Africanism as much as possible. So Asia to be united as much as possible, like ending some of those divisions, like between China and India and China and Japan and different countries like that, and trying to bring them together so that maybe even have conferences in Central Asia being strategically located so that it's like symbolically central to the, just as I want to do with Africa, with Central Africa and things like that. So like trying to encourage Asians to have peace with each other as much as it's quite difficult because of different religions and cultural differences and language differences and things like that. But I'd love them to be as peaceful as possible and united as possible. I think that can lead to prosperity in the future. Like if tourism resumes and people are able to travel, I don't know where the developments will be with that, but I think that a more united and peaceful country can encourage more tourism and things like that. And also, obviously, instead of destroying things, you're building things. So I think that would be beneficial as much. I really think that being united is really a great thing. I think that it's probably even more important than some of the other things like working hard or being good academically. I think those are things that might have their place and be important as much as it might annoy me to admit because I'm not really a hardworking person or an academic person. But I think that there is something to be said for being united. I think that's even more important because 2 heads are better than 1. If one person works, even if one person can work 18 hours or something ridiculous like that in a day, it would take 2 or 3 people to work that, even if they weren't as hardworking, you know what I mean? So I think by working together, obviously Asia has a lot of a huge population as well, so it could really do a lot, I think. And as ever, I forgot to say in the intro, I'd love to hear what you think about each of these points. Number 2, again, I'd love to see Asia and Africa work more closely together so that people from to improve relations between Africans and Asians, like people of color. I think they have a lot in common. Like, I hope to talk in the future about what they have in common, like the fact they were both colonized. So to look at how to improve those relations between Africa and Asia. Before the coronavirus came along, unfortunately, and disrupted travel and things like that, unfortunately, I thought of ideas like Egypt to be a portal between, or a link up, or what do you want to call it, between Africa and Asia. So Egypt could like facilitate events between Africa and Asia because I think it's the only transcontinental country between Africa and Asia. So symbolically, it'd be great for Egypt to like be a place where African and Asian nations got together to discuss how they could trade with each other and learn from each other and develop together, help each other to grow. And like India might do certain things well that say Kenya doesn't do well, and they could learn from each other and vice versa. So there are things that maybe India could improve, which Kenya does well, which they could teach them, or things like that, and like trade with each other and just help each other to develop and things like that. So I think that would be a really cool thing. And yeah, I think it'd be great to see Africa and Asia be united as much as possible. And maybe like through online conferences, which could be hosted by the Egyptian government or Egyptian sort of leaders or whatnot, or organizations. So, but obviously, I think it'd be a lot better, obviously, if people could meet up physically, because then that would benefit Egypt quite a lot as well as those other countries, because, well, hopefully it'll benefit all of Africa and Asia, But Egypt, obviously hosting those events, would bring in so many people, which would obviously be spending money in Egypt, I imagine, like with hotels and things like that. So, but I'd love to benefit Africa and Asia together as much as possible. And I'd love Asian nations to teach African nations about technology, not in a condescending or patronizing way, but in a way where they can pass on those skills. So I think that African countries rather, should all say that whoever goes to do business in their countries should have to train up at least, say, 30 or whatever, or maybe even 100 or even 1,000, especially young people or people of all ages, really, in technology in return for like resources or trade, because at least they'd get something really good out of it that's tangible. So in the future, those people would have careers. But yeah, so I'd love countries like India to teach as many African countries and have IIT centers across Africa, and also China to transport their tech education and training and stuff like that. And also South Korea, which is apparently, I think, #1 for technology. And also Japan to teach Africans game making through however, I think you pronounce it TICAD or TICAD, I think it is, which is the Tokyo International, I can't remember exactly what it is, but the acronym is TICAD, which is between Africa and Asia, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it'd be great, I think, for Japan to teach African countries about game making in return for like African countries could buy Japanese goods and things like that and use their services more. So I'm going to try and move on because that took quite a while to go through that point. Number 3, I'd love to have, again, before coronavirus, I would have loved to go into parts of Asia and did opinion polls, or if I had the confidence, stood with a microphone and asked people questions, like asking people from Asia questions like, for instance, what does freedom mean to you, or things like that, all sorts of different questions like that. Obviously in the politest possible way. Number 4, I love to promote libertarianism across Asia, and also pacifism and countries coming together and nations coming together. I think, therefore, instead of spending money on wars, they could spend money on helping their people to get training, helping poor people, helping their economies to grow and get more jobs. And I think it'd be great if somehow Asian nations agreed not to go to war with each other, not fight each other. I'd love to see also human and animal rights being improved, as well as rights for children and people with disabilities, which I hope to cover in more detail. Number 5, I'd love to hear from Asian aspiration, like young people from Asia talking about their aspirations of what they would love to achieve when they're older, and how we can help them to achieve, or how people generally, their governments and NGOs, social enterprise and all that sort of thing, could help young Asian people, including from poorer backgrounds especially, to achieve their potential, maybe even people with disabilities, which again I hope to cover in more detail as time goes by. People with physical, mental and learning disabilities, and also women and young people, and people generally across Asia, and providing electricity and access and things like that for Asia. All the tech ideas I wish to do, as I said before, I hope to do for Africa and indigenous Africa and Australasia. So these will be non-tech related ideas, generally speaking, because I think Asia is already quite good in tech. But anyway, number 6, again, as I've mentioned before, as a fan of Italian football, I'd love to encourage Asians to be fans of Italian football as much as possible, especially my fellow Anglo-Indians or other Eurasians perhaps, and promoting Serie or Italian football generally in Asia as much as possible, improving relations through football. So Serie clubs or Italian clubs generally, or even the Italian national teams could, in the future, hopefully, I may pray, if travel is safe enough to if travel is safe enough to do, hopefully they could travel to parts of Asia and have football events together, and Italian clubs could have training academies and learn about Asian culture whilst also playing football and practicing together, so they could learn about each other's culture but improve relations through football, and in return maybe Italians could buy more Asian goods and things like that. Number 7, again, I hope for something similar for Celtic, and to encourage as many people across Asia and support Celtic as possible, and in return maybe Celtic could do fundraising for Asia, or even the other way around, Celtic could do fundraising for Asian nations and supporting people across Asia, especially people from poorer backgrounds or with disabilities and women and that sort of thing, just generally disadvantaged groups, and in return, obviously, hopefully it'll be a mutually beneficial thing. Number 8, I'd love to hear what people from different Asian nations love about each other's countries, and how to bring them together and encourage, as I say, Pan-Asianism as much as possible. Number 9, I'd love to support Asian politics, and also, as I say, Pan-Asianism, but also like art, writing, possibly people to write about Pan-Asianism and write about art and what benefits it could have, and dyslexics and autistics and people like that doing art and drawings and poetry about why Asia should unite and things like what benefits could be made from such. And number 10, I'd love to support young people across Asia. So sorry if this video was a bit long, and as ever, I'd love to hear what you think about each point or any questions you might have about each point I raised and what you think would benefit Asia. And I am out. Peace and love.